Greetings, YouTube. Lone Star here coming at you with a issue of blade shapes. Recently, a few days ago, I believe it was the 19th, a very well-known knife content creator brought out a knife, referred to it as a reverse tanto, and then immediately called out so-called blade-shaped scholars to make comments. And then, of course, there's a feeding frenzy of the mob mentality. That's fine. But he said, I'm calling you out, so I'm going to present my case. And the issue is the title reverse tanto. Now, here is a Kershaw Lucha balisong in 14C28N. You might ask, why would they put 14C28N? Well, it's super tough. And for those people out there who use balisongs regularly will know that you're going to often drop your knife. And that's why you need a good, tough steel. It's an excellent steel. It's got the titanium handles on it to lower the weight, and I put the lanyard clasp on it instead of the stock, and it comes in right about 4.5 ounces versus the 6 ounces of the stock Lucha. This is a clip point right here. No one's going to argue with that. This is a classic clip point. This little guy, the Hogue Sig Sauer Emperor, Scorpion Emperor model, 3.5 inch, CPM 154, is a spear point with harpoon feature on it. Very nice. In that, I don't know, desert tan Cerakote finish. Beautiful. Very nice piece there in the spear point. Here we have this little chode, a classic drop point. This is a D2, so I acid etched and stone washed it to protect it, because D2 doesn't offer the best corrosion resistance, but it's a nice little everyday carry fixed blade in drop point. Now, getting to the heart of the matter here we have a Code 4, the Cold Steel Code 4 in S35VN, 3.5 inch blade. This is what's known as a Western or American tanto, as the classic Japanese tanto did not have a secondary tip. It was instead rounded with a slight curve that went up to the tip right here, a little belly instead of the acute angles here. Here's another example, a Civivi Brazen tanto in D2. I believe it's just at 3.5 inches also. In liner lock, the Code 4 is in the triad lock. Now, most people just call that a tanto. That's fine. You don't have to say Western tanto or American tanto. We have come to accept that in these days. But we certainly don't call it a forward tanto. Now, this here is the Kubi flash in D2. This is not a reverse Tonto. Here is a CJRB Silex. This is not a reverse Tonto. This is a really nice kitchen knife, or that I use for the kitchen. It's AR RPM 9 powdered steel. Very nice, very good for the kitchen. Love it. So, why do we have this term, reverse Tonto? Well, back in 1999, a designer for Benchmade knives, Warren Osborne, created a model called the 940 for release in 2000 by Benchmade. And they coined the term reverse Tonto to capitalize on the popularity of Cold Steel's designs in the Western Tonto. So many people will think, okay, a reverse Tonto, does that mean that I do this? And then this would become the spine, and this would become the edge? No, that would be inverted to turn an object on an axis 180 degrees. Well, they called it reverse. So that means that the secondary edge and secondary tip are reversed, meaning going in what is the secondary part is in an opposite direction of a normal Western American Tonto. Here's the problem. This part of the blade right here is unsharpened. There's no sharpened tip, and there's no sharpened edge. So how can it be the reverse of a Tonto? Again, we're not calling it a forward Tonto, and we're certainly not calling this a reverse Tonto. What is it then? Well, you can call it a coping blade or a gyuto. It's the Japanese name, Gyuto. They're still making them. You still find them in kitchens all the time with fine cutlery. This would be an example of a gyuto, or coping blade if you want. However, there are, or it is possible to have a reverse Tonto if this were sharpened. And I've seen one recently, a month ago. It was a fixed blade, of course, because you couldn't have a folder with a sharpened portion of the blade right here, because it would be exposed when it was folded in the handle. That would be no good. So let's get rid of this term, this marketing term, reverse Tonto, and call them by the correct name. And that's all I have to say about that. I welcome any comments, any further explanation, any debate. But this certainly is not going to be the acclaimed High Five Burrito Tuesday blade or the Saturday Octopus Parade blade. Let's just get it right. There's been too many words that have been part of the lexicon of our language incorrect, like irregardless. Yes, it's in the dictionary because it was misused so much. Snuck, another one. It got used so much incorrectly that it became part of our language. Every bandage is not a Band-Aid. Every tissue is not a Kleenex. All I'm saying is get the name right and understand the history behind it. And that's it from Lone Star. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.